Hey, this is Mike with Superior Tradelines. Today we're going to be discussing the questions you need to be asking a Tradeline company.
Cool, Mike. I compiled a list here. Do me a favor. I'm going to ask the questions, and I would like you to tell me why that's an important question and then answer it on Superior's behalf. So, first question is, how long have you been in business?
Okay, so the importance of this question is just it's knowledge and experience, okay? So if someone's been in the Tradeline industry for under 3 or 4 years, they probably don't have a firm grasp of what they're doing. There's a million parts of this. It's a giant machine, and for it to be operated correctly, it just requires experience and knowledge, okay? So here at Superior, we've been doing this just about 10 years now, and we've encountered every hurdle under the sun. We have a firm grasp on how banks do everything and how the reporting agencies work to make sure that we are able to provide quality services consistently to all of our clients.
Excellent. Okay, next question. Are you bonded? What does that even mean?
Okay, so a bond is like an insurance policy for the consumer, okay? And the way a bond would work is the state that the business resides in basically protects you as a consumer. So for example, here at Superior, we're bonded and we're in Florida. So if for some reason we did not meet our contractual obligations to an individual, you would file a dispute against our bond, and then the state of Florida would immediately issue your funds back, and then they're coming after us. So again, it's an insurance policy that protects you. Now, really quickly, the company themselves have to be bonded. At Superior Tradelines, you can check out the link. It's in the posting below that we actually have our bond and we are listed on the bond. If a company is bonded by a parent company, meaning it doesn't have their name on the bond, then you as a consumer are not protected by that bond.
Okay, and then let's talk about funds then. Do you escrow payments?
Okay, here's why this is important. Again, it's protection for the client, and there's also some compliance stuff, okay? So every state has some different terms to this. On the federal level, it talks about how companies can't accept funds because, again, they can't take claim to them, okay? So here at Superior, we do escrow funds. We have an established trust account, okay? So for every transaction, the funds are escrowed to trust, where they remain until the product, the trade line, is provided to the client. Okay, so what this does, it ensures that you as a consumer, your funds are protected. A company cannot claim them until you have been provided what you are obligated to be provided. And then also in the same process, we as a company are protected. We're gonna get compensated for doing that work once you've been provided that quality service.
Okay, perfect. That kind of ties into a refund. I guess that kind of is the refund policy, but can you speak to that a little bit?
Certainly. So every company should have a refund policy, because if for some reason the service can't be provided, the product cannot be provided to you, well, are you left hanging high and dry? And the answer to that question should always be no, okay? So if for some reason here at Superior, if a trade line doesn't populate, okay, what we provide is the options of replacement products, or at that point you can say, you know what, I just want my money back. And the funds are removed, they're removed from the escrow and provided to you immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna change gears a little bit. This is a very important question. I kind of don't even want to draw attention to it, but I think it's important that consumers know. But the question is, do you screen for CPNs or fake SSNs? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, it's a great question. So, and again, I understand why we don't want to bring light to it, but it's a great question because it's important to protect yourself as a consumer, okay? So the answer to that needs to be yes, okay? And that's what we do here at Superior. We collect documents to verify identity and to make sure that there's no type of credit fraud going on. Now, why that's important, okay? So let's say that you purchase a trade line, it shows up on your credit reports, okay? And let's say someone else also purchased the same account and it showed up on their credit reports, but they're using one of these synthetic credit profiles, a CPN, as ITN, something like that, okay? That account's gonna get screened by the banks because it's a non-traditional number. When that occurs, any association to that account is gonna be red flagged for potential credit fraud, which will just damage any ability to do lending. So that's why, at the end of the day, here at Superior, we do screen every individual to make sure it is a legitimate social security number and not any type of synthetic profile.
Excellent. Okay, let's talk about some results. Do you guarantee score increases?
Okay, so the answer to that question always needs to be no, okay? And here's why. There is no way to guarantee a score increase, okay? We have no control over the score models, okay? So the element of control is the factors of the credit reports, okay? So there needs to be, first off, it has to be that a company cannot provide a guarantee. We do not guarantee score increases. What we do what we're able to provide is an assessment of your specific credit scenario, and an expected outcome would be the clearest picture. And again, through that, we do a credit report review and things like that to make those assessments.
Okay, if someone's guaranteeing a score outcome, why would that be a bad thing?
Okay. Well, first off, it violates a couple things, and there's a compliance factor there, but I don't want to get too far into that. I'm not a lawyer, okay? But it creates a very specific expectation. And again, there's no specific way to control scores, okay? There's ways to control factors on the reports. But beyond that, there's more than one factor here, okay? You deal with a company and they're providing a product. If you as a consumer change a condition on your credit report, that could affect the results of those products. So if a company is guaranteeing you're going to get a 720 credit score by adding our Tradelines, well, if you change something on your credit reports, they're no longer able to guarantee that. But that's what they're stating. Okay. So again, there's so many factors in play. There's no way to guarantee a score increase.
You're so nice and professional. I think the way I see it is that it's impossible to predict an outcome, and if someone's doing that, they're lying. Would you agree with that?
100%. Okay. I'm just too nice of a guy to say it.
Yep. Okay. Do you guarantee funding?
No. And here's the thing. No one can guarantee funding. A banker can't guarantee funding, okay? A mortgage broker can't guarantee funding. What they can do is they can assess your situation and they can give you expectations, okay? When you go to buy a house, the mortgage lender pulls your reports and they say, you can qualify for this. But the mortgage guy isn't the decider. It eventually goes to an underwriter who has to sign off. And if that underwriter says no, the mortgage broker, loan originator, had no control over that, okay? So nobody can guarantee funding. Some companies, they're partnering up with funding companies, and they'll make these promises that, you know, if you buy Tradelines, you'll be able to get up to $500,000 in funding. It's crazy stuff I see, okay? There's no guarantees on funding. What they can guarantee is they'll take you through their process and you may get an approval. But again, there's no guarantee on approvals. So here at Superior, we do not guarantee funding.
Okay, so let's transition to what we do. And I think the question is, and the client should be asking, do you review my credit report before making a recommendation of Tradelines, I should say?
A company needs to say yes to this, okay? Because Tradelines don't have score value tied to them, they have quality, okay? So age and credit limits, seasoning, okay? Those factors provide enhancement based on what's on your credit reports, okay? No two people gain the same enhancement because no two people have identical credit reports. So that being said, if a company is not reviewing your credit reports and then recommending specific products based on your specific credit condition and credit goal, that's a big red flag to me. So here at Superior, we go through a recommendation process. We do a full audit and analysis of the reports, and we recommend specific products that are, again, conditional to your specific credit as well as your credit goal.
Okay, and the next question is, based on your recommendation, why will the Tradelines recommended work?
As I mentioned in the last question, it's all about factors, okay? So if there's an issue of utilization, we'll add the appropriate amount of available credit to curb against that. If there's a factor of a lack of payment history, we'll add the appropriate amount of payment history to create an average that's in a stronger position, okay? So what we do is we take our 10 years of experience in this field of doing seasoned trade lines, authorized user piggybacking, and we apply that to every individual we work with on a case-by-case basis. There's no cookie cutter, there's no template. Everyone is unique, and it's important to remember that as you go through this process.
Okay, perfect. And I guess the most important thing is these questions shouldn't be written down in emails. The clients need to be getting on the phone and talking to people so they can tell whether they're working with an expert or not. So with that said, how do people get a hold of you, Mike?
Call me, 321-799-6155. If you want to set up an appointment, you can text me or you can email me, mike@superiortradelines.com, so you can ask me these questions and we can start talking about your goals and how to realize your credit potential. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot of great content here and a lot more coming. Thank you.